What's up, YouTube universe? Welcome to Bayou Booty, Louisiana Treasures. Today's video is going to be a short video. I'm just going to go over a few things that I found in the haul from the auction, and I think there might be one or two things that came from garage sales, but I think most everything else was from the auction. And I'll show you guys those things as we're getting ready to go through the listing process. I'll also go over a little bit about how I resize boxes. I don't know if you're familiar with it. If you resell already, I'm sure you've either heard of it or you may already have your own resizing tool, but I'll show you how that works too. So kind of go over that and explain when to use it, when to do that kind of stuff. So yeah, and also I've noticed in the first few videos that I've made, the audio quality isn't that great. Coming, just the phone itself picking up. If I turn or do something or back out or move out of the way of the camera to show you guys something, or if I create distance, it's when I'm playing it back, the volume doesn't stay with it. It gets really low and hard to hear. So I have a wireless microphone. It actually came in today right before this video. When I checked the mail, it was out there, but it's brand new, still in the box. So I just opened it and plugged it in, got it charging. So the next video, I'm just trying to talk loud enough today again so you guys can hear me, especially if I'm getting out of the way or something like that. But I'll show you guys the microphone that I got and where I got it from, and I think that's about it for today's video. That's the three things we're going to cover. Shout out for today is going to be a channel that I came across the other day. It's a girl, her name is Elizabeth, and I'll have her little picture of her, what her profile looks like on her YouTube page, so you can go over and find her and subscribe to her, watch her videos, give her support. All right, let's get to the items. We have this doll here. It's a porcelain doll. The ones I found online that were similar, with the similar dress and everything. Apparently it was called like a schoolgirl. I don't know. That's what the other ones had on their listing that I found. Had the same shirt with the little red ducks, and on this little blue shirt, and she has the glasses. Apparently she had a table, like a little table with books, like some kind of I don't know, like a little table you would, I guess, sit next to your chair and read or something with like books on it. I guess it came with that. I'm not sure what it all came with, but all three of the other pictures I saw, they had that, and that's what they included in their title too. So obviously she's missing that. The pedestal, like they have those pedestals, the base, and then like the thing that I guess stands up, and it goes up into their clothes or something that keeps them upright. I don't know if it came with that, but I saw a couple of similar dolls that had, but it does not have a pedestal, whatever you call those things, like the stand that holds the doll up. The bottom of her shoes, you can see, I don't know if it once did have one of those and it was kind of glued to it. I don't know. It looks to me like there's some kind of, I don't know, glue or something on her feet. So I don't know if you can see that. I pulled it down, but see how that's like it's glue that's peeling off. But the tops of her shoes are just, kind of white. There is, like underneath, kind of, it's almost like, I don't know, long johns, I guess you could call it somewhat. But there is some fading. You can see like it's not really super, super white anymore. Even the dress, I don't know if it came like that as an off-colored white or what. I know it's vintage. I know it's from the 80s, I think, is what the similar ones that I found said. I think that's when they made them. But the face is porcelain, and the hands up to, I guess, in the mid-form, about right there on both sides. You can see where the cloth starts again. but up to that point right there, that's porcelain in the hands. To the feet, so her knee right there, that's the line, I guess. I don't know what the material is above it, but this part here where her sock is, that's the leg, I guess, below this pant line, whatever. It's porcelain as well. The rest of it's just some kind of fabric, not sure what, but they had them. I'm putting the pictures here so you can see the ones I found. Like I said, they had the other accessories with them, but they were charging, and you'll see, I think the lowest one I found was like, oh, I don't even remember now, 20. I know I saw one for 25, but I don't think I included it in this snapshot of these two. I think it's like 29, all the way up to 50. I'm assuming you can see like a box in the background. I'm not sure if that was like the maker's box or just the box they had that they stored it in. I don't know. Or if they had multiple and they were like new, old stock or something. I'm not sure. But they were like the 50 one, obviously that would be like perfect condition in the box, I'm sure, or pretty close to it. So with the way mine, like I said here on her socks, you can see like just if you pull up a little bit, you can see how wide it is. It's a little wider here than it is like just below there, where I guess it would be exposed to whatever the elements she was out in or in storage or whatever. So being that it's not, perfect condition and doesn't have the accessories that I saw, I'm only going to put 20 on it. I don't know if that's too low or if it's, I don't know, right around about what it's worth without the accessories, but comparative to what I saw and what I had, that's what I'm going to ask for her. All right, next I have this, online they call them trinket boxes, but a box to me just means square. But I know these trinket containers, whatever you want to call them, they come in different sizes. This one is made by Imperial Porcelain, I guess is the name of the company. I looked up and I saw there was a bunch of things like this and kind of ceramic ware, so I'm assuming that's what that company made, was only ceramic ware. I'm not sure what else they did. It has porcelain in the name, so I'm sure it had something to do with similar products, but it has a made in China sticker underneath it, so that's where it was made. It has like this couple in the front, if you can see that. It's the one online that I found similar, they in their listing, they called it a courting couple, so maybe they're courting, or I don't know, but I guess that would be kind of Victorian. I think that's what one of them said on there. The one you'll see in the picture here, but the one that I found that had the same kind of top to it, it was the coloring of the sides and everything was different. It's like it was just a little different. There's no chips or anything that I feel or found anywhere on it. There's like little spots like that, but I don't know what that is. I may try to see if I can wipe that off, but it's pretty clean. Inside, I'm give that a good wipe out. I don't think there's anything other than just running a cloth through there. Same thing in the inside here. Inside the lid, everything looks good. It like when you close it does pretty good. Like it doesn't fall open. It's this little it's not a latch. It just kind of locks when you push down, like one little piece of metal, and this closes over it. But I guess it's for jewelry or whatever else you want to keep in there. Looks nice. It's pretty cool. I don't remember what the price was right offhand on the other one that was listed. I think it was around 20, but I'll correct that when I do the editing if I'm wrong. I can't remember, but I'm gonna charge it around what I'm seeing the rest of them. Even though I can't find one exactly like this, I'm not sure if that means this is a rare one, but I have no way of knowing. So I may do a little bit more research, but I'm not going to spend too much more time on it because I see a lot of similar ones like that, and they're not crazy expensive. So I'll price it according to the rest of them I see, even though it's not exactly the same. All right, and the next item is these are swans, and they are napkin rings. You can see here. There's 6 of them, and they kind of have like this little color scheme. That's why I'm kind of putting them like next to each other in groups of 2. So like, these are, move these back so you can see these 2, and then these. So this one has like yellow flowers. They all have some sort of floral design on the front, but this one, the flowers in it are yellow. Heavy greenery like the leaves, and the flowers are like yellow. So kind of like they match a little bit. And then these 2 have blue flowers. Like there's a smaller flower here, and this one has a pretty big couple of flowers on it. There's one on the bottom as well. But the other ones have like this orange and yellow kind of mixed, and I'm not even sure if those are supposed to represent the same types of flowers, but they, having that color scheme similar, I just they're all going to be sold together, but I don't know, I just noticed that. So if someone wanted were to use them, if you're having a dinner party or something, or if you have, some friends come over for dinner and you want to set out everything and, make it look nice, and you could, pair it up with the, next to each other, the sitting arrangement or whatever, like that, or you can just randomly put them wherever you want. It doesn't really matter. But I have them just kind of separated like that. They all will be sold together. Did not find anyone's exactly like this. I found a lot of different napkin rings, a lot of ceramic ones, a lot of different swan, but none like this. None that had the floral designs on them, and also the shape of their body and where, like how they stand up and all that. Everything was just a little bit different from the ones I saw. They were ranging in price. I may do a little bit more research on these just to see if I can find something a little bit more similar before I price them, but I'm thinking probably somewhere in the 10 to 15 range, maybe 20. I don't know. That I would have to make sure that I'm seeing something similar out there that would, warrant that. If not, I'm not going to price it that high. So probably some closer to somewhere to 10 to 15, I think, would be where I want to land on that. They're neat. So if you like entertaining, hey, it's cool to have these, I guess, to make it, your presentation stand out a little bit. They're pretty neat. So, all right, next we have these. I guess they're soccer cleats. I'm not sure what sport they're supposed to be for. I do need to clean them a little bit. I'm going to wipe all that off and give them a good thorough cleaning before I ship them out, obviously. But purpose of this video is just kind of show you guys, just as kind of like almost the way I acquired them. And I forgot on the last few items to tell you what I paid for them. I do have all that here, so I'll just post that on those items, and it gives you an idea of the profit margin or whatever. So if you're to be on the lookout for those kind of items. So these, I originally thought they were supposed to be for girls. I don't know. It kind of looks like the inside is pink to me. I'm not sure if it's coming across to you guys as pink, but kind of has a little bit of a orangish red on the back end right there. But I looked these up, and the ones I found, they called them adult, and I was assuming they were like girls, like not women but girls. But apparently I don't know. Maybe in their size 7 it says. So I guess that's right, because that would, I guess for, let me see that, U.S. size 7, someone with a size 7 foot, an adult, I guess that's about the size of a 7. Not sure, but I found comps on these from around $30. I think somewhere, and I'll have that. I have a picture list. I think it may have been lower, may have been a little bit more. I can't remember, but around 30 is kind of what I was seeing. The ones that were similar. They did have some with a different color way, like the stripes here, and the inside were, they matched, but they were different. They were not this color. They were like different colors. I have $3 into these cleats. So worst case scenario, like I said, I don't know, and I don't think I saw any sold comps for these. I'll have to go back and look, but I think it was just all listings. 15 is probably what, that's probably where I'm going to land. Maybe 20, depending. Like I said, these are not in bad condition. There's not even any wearing inside, like where where most shoes wear when you wear them for a while. Like, they must not have been worn very much, because like the areas here where your foot or your ankle rubs against, like, there's no wearing there. There's just not a lot of wear to me. The bottoms, I mean, it's somewhat warm outside, obviously you can see that, but they're cleats, and they still have, their spikes look pretty good all the way around. They're not worn down really bad. So yeah, I think probably I'm gonna try them for 15 to see. Like I said, I don't think I saw any that were sold, so we'll see. So 3 to 15, that'll be the profit margin on this one. All right, this purse here, I'm gonna go through the rest of the purses. I know I have the Kavu already done, if you remember that from a couple videos ago, but this one here, I saw one that looked exactly like it online. After looking for a while, and I was like, all right, I finally got it, so, and it was a company called Gen Co, or I'm not sure how you say that, if it's said really fast, like Genco, but it was the letter, or the name Gen, Jen, and then the and sign, and after that Co. So Gen and Co. The problem is in the other ones that I saw from that company, it looked exactly like all the features, even this little clip here, everything. The purse looked exactly like the crossbody bag. I guess that's what you call it. The only difference is, the inside looks the same. This one, sorry, I keep saying I'm going to tell you, and then I'll say something else. But all this looked the same. Only difference in the other ones, right here inside, like a big square about that long, rectangular, was like the same material like this, whatever, like this. I don't think this is leather. I'll have to go back and read their description what they're made out of, but fake leather or whatever, like synthetic leather, whatever it is. It was like almost like a name tag made out of that same thing that was like right here inside, and all of them had it, and it was like rectangular, and it sat right there, and it said Gen. So this, I'm kind of confused. I did reach out to them, and I did get an email back from them, and they want me to send them like more pictures, and so they try to help me out to figure out. I don't know if like earlier models, because it does look like an older purse, some type of vintage model. Maybe they didn't have the logo inside, because it doesn't say anywhere on the purse, I've looked at everything, like anywhere where there's hardware on the metal, like the clasp, everything. Anywhere I can find a place where you would see like a maker's stamp, and I don't see anywhere on the purse at all where it says who had made it. So being the fact that all the rest of them had the Gen Company or Gen & Co logo inside, and this one doesn't, my question to them when I reached out to them was, did y'all make any earlier on in the beginning, or at some point were some of them made that didn't have that logo? They're brand new. They're not like Louis Vuittons. These are, I don't even know where they actually, if they did sell them retail, where they sold them, I'm not sure. But I mean, the brand new ones were like 20, 30, 40. I mean, some of them were a little bit more, but I mean, like that's like especially like something like this style, like that's kind of what they were. And people who resell them online that had, like the one I actually compared this one to, I think it was on Poshmark, and I'll show you a picture here. But that one, I think the person, I don't remember, but you'll see it in the description. It was like 20 something, I think 26 or something like that. They were asking for. So once I can get in more information, because I don't understand why somebody would, if it is a fake or knockoff or whatever, um, or would you even call it a fake or a knockoff if it doesn't have the actual company's name on it? Like if you wanted to knock off, a big brand, a big name brand, whatever, shoes, clothing item, whatever, make fake, whatever to sell, make fake products, whatever they're making. You would want the name there, the logo, and as close as possible, and you want everything as close as possible. And I know like there's ways of telling fakes, but so like as far as the legality concerned, like that's where you get in trouble. But why would someone make one identical and not put the logo on it anywhere? But it looks like inside the pattern inside down to everything, like the stitching looks the same. So why would somebody do that or try to recreate or copy like not a high end brand? Like I can understand if you were doing it just to, like a company that sold like very expensive whatever handbags or shoes or whatever, because you're trying to pass it off in it. But if you can sell some whatever, if you can trick people, the reward is pretty great. I know you can get in trouble and you're not supposed to do it, and it's not really a good thing to do in my opinion to copy someone else's work. But why would someone go through all that trouble and risk that for a product that how much were they going to ask for it? So I don't know. I'm gonna wait until I can clear it up with the company before I'm not gonna post it anywhere or list it, because I don't want to get in trouble for if it is some kind of fake. Like I said, they're not claiming to be that product. Like I said, there's not that company's logo anywhere on it. I don't know if that would even qualify as someone who's, if it's even qualifies as a fake product of like a replica or whatever of that Gin and Co. bag. So I don't know. I need more research needs to be done before I can list this, but hopefully I can get all that solved pretty quick. And like I said, the comps on these from what I saw online, used Poshmark or wherever, were around $20-$30. Like I said, there were this style. There were other purses that went for more in that same kind of brand. But so we'll see. We'll see what comes of this purse. All right, the next bag that I have, this one is unbranded. I could not find a brand anywhere on it. There's no, I don't know if you can see. Down in the bottom, if you look, so I can open it that wide for you guys to see, because it's hard to. But down in the bottom down there, does look like to me like this fabric material. If you can see it, but it is a little bit stained, and there is see that hole right there. If something fell down in there, not sure how, it wouldn't go anywhere. I don't think you would lose the item, whatever it is. You would just have to, because it's still the compartment. This part of the purse would still hold it, like it wouldn't be gone forever. It's just, I guess it'd be annoying if you had to find something that you dropped in there. So it does have that hole down the bottom. The lining, like I said, is what's stored. It's not the purse itself. The hole is not on the bottom. And this is just a very simple little purse. Like I said, there's places where to me the lining here seems like it's just stained, and it's not like, doesn't look like somebody spilt something. It just looks like it from years of being used. I mean, this was also part of the auction lot. I think I had 50 cents into this purse when I broke everything down. It does have several compartments. Those are, I guess, for credit cards and stuff. It has like another zipper thing here in the front. This is not it's not a branded purse, so I don't even know who made it. It's not one that's going to be very expensive. I figured for someone, like you can pull this out and resew. See, just kind of pulls out like that, and then resew that line. Everything else is in good shape, other than the discoloration, like I said, inside. But you have the one zip pocket there, the few little card holes, and everything else you can just throw in there. It has a back pocket here, and also the same thing in there. You can see, if you see down at the bottom, it has like a, now that one is like a greenish type discoloration. I'm not sure what would cause that. Maybe some kind of tarnished metal. I don't know. Maybe they had watches or something that sat in there for too long. I don't know what exactly caused it, but I figured just not being branded and just kind of seeing the same style of purses online. I figured something like $3 to $5. It's definitely not elegant. It's not really expensive. I have 50 cents into it. I'm not gonna get very much out of it. Like I said, it was just part of the auction lot. So a couple of videos ago, I told you guys, just what not to do. Sometimes this is a very good explanation of what I was talking about when you just go and the beginning, and you haven't really learned yet how to look for things that are, how to source and how to look up. So sometimes you just buy a whole big lot full of stuff, and then you have items like this that are unbranded and fairly cheap made. I mean, I can't imagine this, I don't know who made this, but all the ones I saw out there were fairly inexpensive little handbags or whatever. And this one having the little issues it does, and the age, and it's it's out of date and everything. Just even if it was maybe just for a kid, if you want to get a girl's first little purse or something for her to start carrying stuff around, probably somewhere in $3 to $5 range is what I'm gonna put it. This one I was able to find the there's a tag, and I'm not even sure if I can show you guys the tag. I had to bend it, and there's like a little thing right there. It has like different languages, like when you go through, it's like a little book, but it says in here you can cut it out. Like it has like a symbol for like scissors, I guess, for the person after they buy it. But I don't know if you can see that, it's not zooming in. But I did not. I left it in there. I figured whoever gets it, if they want to cut it out, they can. You see that right there? But inside it has like different languages, I guess, description of the purse itself or whatever, or maybe the materials and stuff. And I don't know what it sounds weird. Almost like it reads to me like some kind of customs tags or something. I don't know. Describing the product as far as, I don't know, like model. I don't know, identification of some type of. But the one that had English that I could read, I did see Forever 21. So I'm pretty convinced this is a Forever 21 bag. I know I've seen their stores in the mall. I know that they have other strip malls and other places where they sell, but like mainly I've seen them like in malls. So, and I don't think they have like really, really expensive, crazy stuff. This purse is, obviously just like the other ones. It's been around for a while. These are vintage purses. This one has some actual like wear, like serious wear. See how it's cracking there? This, I don't even know if it's fake leather or whatever this is. And you have little pieces where it's missing here, the fabric. You see that right there. The zippers work. There's nothing wrong with the inside, the lining. It's a black lining, but it's pretty clean. Just you have these areas on both sides where, you can see on this side too, where it's cracking. So I don't think there's any way to restore like any kind of, leather treatment or anything. I think it was just a very kind of just the way it was made, just an inexpensive purse at the time when it was new, and now being used in, a couple of decades or more older. Again, $3 to $5, something like that. probably closer to 3 or on this one, just because it has the other areas. But for a quick little bag to throw with you, even if it's something just to throw in the car, to keep in the car, or something to quick when you're not worried about impressing somebody, just to have something with you to throw stuff in that you don't mind throwing around, banging around, or like I said, maybe a young girl's first purse to put stuff in to play with. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know anything about purses. I don't carry purses. Maybe that's not even attractive to anybody. Like that's the sound of that. So, with these bags, I'm gonna kind of see what I can get as far as bites on them. But I may end up just donating all 3 of these. I'm not even sure. So we'll see. That's the risk you take when you get a storage lot. Auction lot. I told you that I was going to show you earlier about resizing a box. So the item here, the trinket container box. Sounds weird to call that a box still to me. So I have a box that's going to work. This is going to be wrapped really well. I want to make sure that it's not in danger of getting broke, so I'm going to have it really wrapped with bubble wrap and other protective. I'm not sure if I'm going to use styrofoam or not. We'll see how it goes, but it's going to be very secure inside of the box. And this box is pretty rigid. I like it. But when you put it in, you can see, and even, I still have, that much clearance, 3 inches or so. So even with everything I'm going to do to wrap it, that's still a little bit too much. I can look at it now and tell you that once I have it all wrapped and it's secure enough and I feel like it's good and it's not going to break, I feel like I can still lose like 1.5 to 2 inches off this box. Otherwise, I'm just filling up more dead space. So if I leave it this size and I start wrapping it, what's going to happen is I'm going to get to a point where I have the item secure, but I have to keep stuffing more wrapping into it just to fill the dead void areas so it doesn't bounce around. I want it as tightly compact inside the box, obviously cushioned all the way around for anything breakable, but I don't want it to be banging around there loose. So if I leave this the way it is, then I'm going to have an issue with that. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just eyeballing this. A lot of times I'll actually look when I put the item in, I can kind of see, okay, it's coming up to right here, the top of the item, or something you can lay, like if it's a big enough box, you can put a ruler in, but something flat and you can see, and you can get your line and you can make it very specific and just say if it's something that's not very breakable and you don't need a whole lot of extra room for wrapping, and you can make the box all the way down to like pretty close to the size. But this one I want more, some room, but I just don't quite want that much in the depth. I feel like I can lose about 1 inch or 2 off how deep it is. So I'm just going to use, this is what I also sometimes actually, I'll make boxes, like a big piece of, I don't know what you'd call it. It's not a blank cardboard, but like if you unfold a really big box, you have a pretty big piece of cardboard to work with. So if you need a box this size or even smaller, you can make those out of those really huge boxes. Just kind of take them apart and then make your own boxes. So I can do that in the future if you guys are interested in seeing how I do that. But today this one's going to be a simple one. It's just resizing. So I'm just looking at what I come, and I have this tool here, and I did put something down. I have a box underneath. It's like a ceiling, not a ceiling fan, but like a box fan came in this for protection from damaging the floor, but also when you're cutting, just putting something on top of a box, cutting through a box, it's all steel cardboard. So eventually you would have to throw the box away, or without even knowing it, you might cut through the several layers and hit the floor anyway. So this is actually like a piece of metal. I believe this is aluminum. I don't know. I'd have to get my magnet out and check it, but it looks like aluminum or maybe some kind of stainless. It's really light, but it's actually off of an AC unit, like like the big industrial ones, I believe this came off of. it was either that or some kind of like little refrigerator. But I think it was up to me more like an AC. It was just like one of the front panels. So this is what I put on top of the box, and then I cut on top of that, and that gives me enough protection. I feel like. So I mean, I don't mind. So this thing is, you know, it has no other purpose other than you can scrap it. But for my purpose, I mean, scratching on it and everything like that, and not having to worry about damaging the floor. So these little tools here, I mentioned this earlier, you probably already have one of these if you've been reselling for any length of time. If you don't, you've heard about them. All they are, they're called a resizing tool, but it looks just like your regular box knife. You know, it has a retractable blade here, and you can change those out. The little screw is right here. Take that out, pop this off, and then you can buy those little replaceable blades there, and you just refill them. The only thing different on this knife is it has in this end push up and down, and it has this little wheel that comes out and has these teeth. If you can see that, it's like these little teeth right there. Can y'all see that? So these little teeth, when you run them across a cardboard surface, you know, you're not pushing really super hard, but hard enough just to kind of like, you know, cardboard usually has 2 layers with some other kind of cardboard pieces in between them, kind of rigid, but there's an outer and inner layer. So you're mainly just wanting to puncture that first inside layer. So the back outside layer doesn't have holes in it, but that'll perforate the box, and it'll help it bend at that point, wherever this, I guess is a perforator head. I don't know what you call these, the little wheels, exactly. But so that's what I do. So I know that, like I said, I'm just gonna eyeball this one because it's not an item that I'm trying to get down like really close to the size of the item itself. I want some more room. I like everything, even the sides. I'm okay with the depth on the sides. I'm not gonna make a box specially for it. I think the height is a little bit too much. So I'm just gonna take, and sometimes I'll get like real crazy with this, and I'll like get a marker out, and I'll go like real detailed. But for this, like I said, I'm just kind of eyeballing on this one because it's not that important. I have plenty of room in here, so I'm not worried about you know, messing anything up. I'm just going to go about 1.5 inches. I'm just going to find that 1.5 inch mark, and what I do is I take my knife, and then right there where that mark is, I just kind of puncture that. Okay, and then once I puncture that, I just take it and run it all the way up. Okay, I do the same thing on this side. Find my 1.5 inch mark right there, and make a puncture mark with the blade. Go in and come all the way up. There's the second one. And like I said, there you can get very meticulous with this. I have, and sometimes I do, depending on what I'm shipping and how tightly I want it. But for something, if you're just wanting to just move something down a little bit here and there, you know, if you have a box that fits pretty well, you just, you know, you like it a little bit smaller and some, you know, and one of the depth and heights, you know, whatever it is, you know, or depth and heights, what I'm saying. On the height of the box, you know, if it's a little bit too deep, something like this, or, you know, you're just giving yourself a little bit smaller room to have to pack the all the material in there to keep it from bouncing around if it's something you're worried about getting broke. And obviously something porcelain like this, it's going to be wrapped very good. Okay, so once I have that done, so I have my marks, or I have my cuts made, okay, then like I said, if you want to, you can get something like a small little ruler or something like that and actually run a line before you do the perforating step. But I'm just going to take the perforating wheel, and I see on both sides where my line stops. I don't know if y'all can see that, but so where I cut down to, I can see it's right there, and on this side right there. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm not gonna get any kind of level or anything like that and level it. I'm just gonna take my spooler, start it on that side, start it on this side, we go. And once you have that little perforation in there, see, then that's about how much we took off. So the box now, and this is a pretty thick cardboard box, like the lining is pretty thick in the walls. So that's why I'm using this one for this porcelain piece. Or I would also, if I wasn't going to use it for that, I would use it for something like breakable, anything breakable. So I'm going to do the same thing over here on this side. You know, I can look at where my line stops. Just place the perforated teeth right there where they stop. And I just go like, I don't know, just maybe like an inch or two in. I don't go all the way across. Because if you want to, you can get something, like I said, and draw you a line. And then once you have the line drawn, it's a little easier to go like that. But with this, I'm not going to go all out like that on this. I'm just going to make a couple. I have two lines, and then I know they meet. So just I go from one to the other. Because they're the same. And this is a perforating tool. All it's doing is punching little holes. So as it punches holes, it gives the box a new place to bend. That's what you're doing when you perforate these. Is you're creating a new bend. Like right here in the box when they make these. I'm not sure if they have a press or something they press on these and fold them over to make that crease. But this is all you're doing here when you're resizing is you're just taking something and giving yourself a new bend line. That's all you're doing. Pretty simple. And so once we have those two done, we do the same thing on these other ones inside. And then once you have them all perforated, like your new folds, I'll show you in just a second. You may have some areas that you feel like too long in the middle, like where they come together. You're just not happy with, you want it to be more flush like it was when the box was, originally used. And I'll show you what I do if that bothers you. I have not taken the labels off all this. This is actually something that came from a department store. They gave me this box. I went and asked them. So I will take all that off. And I do sometimes for these labels, they can be kind of sticky. A little trick I learned is if you hold some type of heat source, not right on them, you don't want to burn it, but just what I use is a lighter. I've thought about getting like a heat gun. I don't have a blow dryer. I've never used a blow dryer, but that might work too. But if you just put any kind of, from a good safe distance where you're not actually burning it, I take a lighter and just kind of run it up underneath, and the heat activate this sticky part of that glue, and it peels off a lot simpler. So if you guys are interested, I'll show you that. Just let me know if something you want to see. But it's pretty self-explanatory. Just any kind of little heat source, blow dryer, whatever, and it helps these labels come off if you're repurposing boxes. I think I talked about that last time in the video I did. Wherever you get your boxes, if you find them or someone gives them to you and you're reusing a box, if that's something that bothers you and you want them to look good, I always pull all the labels off. And some of them might be okay to even leave on, but I'm not gonna leave anything on there. I want the box to be, I know it's not gonna say, whatever, like a company name or anything on it, but it just looks like a generic box. But I do want it to be plain. I don't want it to have a bunch of stuff on there that the last person had in their box. So what I do at this point, like I was telling you earlier, so that was our original bend point, our fold right here where the company made the box. So now we've converted it to that. If you want to and it bothers you with that, all you have to do is kind of fold these bends back here on the button folds so you can see. But and all these aren't perfect cuts. Like I said, I just eyeballed this one because it's not it's not super crucial because I have so much more room in there. If it was something that I was trying to get it fit tightly and real nice around a specific size, item that I didn't need a whole lot of extra room for, I'd be a lot more precise. I'd get my lines perfect and everything. But for this one, it's something that I need the extra room for the packing. So I'm not really concerned if they're not super even. It wasn't very super precise. I just kind of eyeballed. Okay, take that much off, and that'll still be fine. I'll still have enough. Okay, so once your new folds, your line, once you fold the sides in first, the sides aren't as important. So once you fold them in, they won't be seamed. The top two will be seamed. Like before, they were coming together nice and even right here. Now they're overlapping. So if you don't like that and you want them to be, even though they have now new folds, you still want them to be nice and fit together just like they did before. You can take your cutting tool, and what I do is I just kind of hold it like this, okay? And you have a place now where you know that if this is the excess I want off this side, okay, when I take that off, that's where my new line is going to be. The bottom part, I'm pinching them together. I don't know if you can see that, but the bottom side, I want it to be on the same line. So I just make one cut all the way through at that point. I do not measure all the time. Like I said, if it's something, it all depends on the item. If it's something that's more crucial just because I'm trying to get a box a specific size, then I'll measure. But in this instance, I don't do that. I just kind of eyeball it because it's not that important. It's gonna fit together, but as far as it being like dead center, maybe not. Yeah, that's okay. Okay, so now I have my line there, and this one's already cut through. This one started to cut, but didn't cut all the way through. So what I'm gonna do is just fold it over and put this one on top now, and line up my cut that I made on the other one, and then just go all the way down. Okay, and once you have this, just, it's already broken, just kind of slide it down like that. It'll come off pretty simple. You've already gotten through the box. Now it's just the perforated middle part taking off. Get that out of the way, and you can dispose of those unless you. Sometimes I use little pieces like that if I have another item that just for protection, if I'm trying to secure something. So you can see, like, once it closes now, I'm going to have that same, like actually one little piece that kind of went curved on right here. So I'm going to straighten that up. But now it'll close the same as the other side. And that's not important. You can always overlap. It's not going to hurt anything. But some people don't like that. They want it to close like it originally did. So, so now this one will have, flaps on the inside, like before, and these are not crucial to the flaps, but they're still with the new folds, or because when they make these originally with the factory folds, they actually don't come all the way together. Actually, with this, it actually now does. So, and it comes pretty close. So if you wanted to use that one as the top, you actually could. You can use these as the sides. So you can do either or. It doesn't matter. You have a new fold now, so. So they come pretty close, but I'm going to leave it the way it was and let these be the first ones to go in. And then these. So like I said, all these labels will be all in my new folds, my new boxes. It's not, like I said, it's pretty close, and then right here at this side, it doesn't, I always squeeze them together when I tape, but you have like a little, part where like didn't come completely together. I'm not concerned with stuff like that. It's going to be taped around all the edges when I do my boxes. When I ship stuff out, I always make sure that anywhere that I have openings, all the way around the box, even if it's made, like even there's like a little poke, it didn't go all the way through, but it's like a poke in my, I'll tape over that. The corners here, I just don't want moisture getting into anything that I pack. I don't want somebody to open something up, and for whatever reason, I don't think it would be. I don't think the carrier would leave it out in the just outside waiting to be shipped out in the rain. But you never know. I feel good about that one. I always, it makes me feel more secure. So that'll be taped up anyway. So when it is taped up, it's gonna look just like a box. But now it's a little smaller, so I still have room, and I have plenty of room on the sides. I'm gonna use that for packaging. I'm not gonna alter that, but or packaging material. I want to stuff more packaging. But the tops and the bottoms, I felt like were just a little bit too deep on that one. So once I secure the tops and bottoms, I have plenty of room on the side, and it'll be wrapped, several times. So yeah, that's how I make a box a different size. Pretty simple. All right, guys, that about wraps it up for today's video. We did a box resizing, a very crude one, just to show you that you don't have to sit there and measure out everything perfectly. Sometimes I do that if I'm trying to make something specifically a certain size. If you guys are interested in seeing that, let me know and I'll do that. But today it was just to show you that you don't have to make all kind of crazy measurements. It's nothing you have to figure out, other than just looking, eyeballing, okay, I need about this much off this box. Making your cuts, running your perforated wheel, connecting the cuts on both sides, and then folding in. Taking off the excess on the top if you want to. So I just wanted to show you guys that it's that simple with that tool. I do make boxes. I mentioned that like out of either large flat pieces of cardboard or a big huge cardboard box that I unfolded, and now it has like a lot of surface area. I can make smaller boxes. If y'all are interested in that, let me know. I can do a video showing you all that. Next video, the wireless microphone, hopefully, if it works, if I can, once I plug it in, everything works right, we'll have some microphone action next time. So, and I realize sometimes with my videos, the volume is changing. If I'm moving further away, if I'm doing something, I'm positioned differently. So hopefully it'll cut that out, and my volume will stay consistent. But I think that's it for this video. If you have any questions on anything, feel free to ask. And again, go check out Elizabeth. She's the shout out for today. And yeah, just watch her videos, do all that stuff, leave her likes and everything like that. So don't forget to like and subscribe. I didn't even think I said that in the last video, but liking my videos, I know everybody knows, and it's kind of become something when you watch a YouTube video at some point, when are they going to ask me to like and everything? And I didn't even ask last video. I just didn't think about it. But, I know it's important because sometimes we forget. I'll be watching a video sometimes, and I'm just so into it. Like, from the time it started to the time, like, I'm like, towards the end or something, and the person's video that I'm watching mentions it, and I'm like, oh yeah, I didn't even go. So I go and put a like on it. So sometimes we forget. So I do need to make sure that I do that every time. So I didn't do that last time, but like, subscribe, and see you guys on the next one.